Good morning. Today we're going to take a look at XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Sigma coin. So for XRP right now, we've got our 5-way move off the lows that we've been tracking with the expectation that this will end up becoming a higher low. So areas of interest that I'm looking at currently are floating. The first attempt for a profit take here is at this completion of the A leg at 282. And then we'll see if we're able to continue further down with our C leg into this region of 277 to 275, and maybe even if we're lucky, we'll get down to 272 region. So this is the behavior that we're watching at this point in time, just to kind of see if we can end up finishing out this corrective move. And we'll now check into as to why this is working. So if we zoom out to the Korean chart, we have a larger, higher low established for a wave 1, wave 2 here on the Korean version of XRP. There is, of course, this cross that ends up potentially invalidating some things if depending on where you put your count in for this wave 3. Like if you shorten this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get to there, we're fine. And then this all becomes part of wave 3. But really what the easiest way to kind of look at it is here on the market cap chart. You can see the very clear 5-way move to the downside, this move to the upside, and if this is our wave 1 finishing area, then we come nowhere close for wave 4 and crossing, and thus this completes our 5-way move down for the larger ABC. Now, here on the market cap chart, we actually show that we have a completion of the 5-way move to the upside with a bearish rising wedge finishing move. And off of that, we now are seeing half of our expected cycle move. So we have in here the 5-way move to the downside, 1, 2, 3. We're still working on 4, and we then have our 5th that will come down somewhere in this region, which I'm guesstimating right here. And then this would be our larger A, B, C working out, giving us a couple days into October, potentially before this completion of this correction plays, maybe even into the second or third. So this is the expectation. Now remember, if we end up losing this level here, then a lot of things change. But right now we're anticipating the continuation trend based off the fact that this section is a higher low here on the market cap, and this section is a higher low here on the Korean XRP version. So this is why we're pushing for the bearish move. Obviously, again, we lose these levels, then things start changing real fast. So next, we have some additional confluences with the rest of the market. So here is the Bitcoin move, and we had a really choppy 5-way move with a 5 waves to the downside that is manifested with an ABC move to the upside, maybe even a 5-wave moves here, and there is a gap down here. So if we go to the futures market, we can take a look and see that we actually have a gap in play down here at this region over the weekend, where we just moved up so quickly, it created this gap that ends up needs to be filled. And this will be the correct question on whether or not this continues lower for a final sister leg to complete this breakdown that happened here on the futures. But notice the futures ends up doing an ABC, whereas the actual spot Bitcoin ends up doing a 5-wave move to the downside. So we'll see which universe we're in. But as of right now, the anticipation is that we are going to hold these levels, close this gap, and then continue onward from here. Then Ethereum has a additional flat structure that we're watching and monitoring. And this flat structure has been a completion of the move to the high. Then we had our ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what we need to continue with. And this 5th leg still needs to come in, and it could stop anywhere in this region right here. So anywhere between 338 down to 37. And with this gap right over here on the left, this is kind of why I chose that spot as to why we would be looking at one more leg down. So we have one more leg down on Ethereum. The futures market for Bitcoin shows us that we have a potential setup for another leg down with a corrective ABC move to the downside, right? With a higher low being set here. So this could end up just closing that gap. And XRP on the USD chart shows that there could easily be a completion of a 5-way move, which right now we're only halfway through, with a wave 1, 2, and then this could even start really getting excited, and that could be a 3, 4, and 5, or we do something more like this, a shorter one because everyone's buying it, and we end up doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we come up for our ABC, and then we move to the last sister leg coming down for this final 5 leg to the downside. And that would be our completion of the ABC move, and we're all done and we can get out of here. So this is kind of what I'm anticipating, again, with the invalidation below these levels here on the USD and Korean charts and market cap charts. So that's basically how the market's kind of shaping out right now, is that we should continue to see some weakness into the early part of next month. Liquidation heat map shows us the same thing. We've got some liquidity down here at 282. More liquidity down at 284, and then dun dun dun, the danger zone of 268 will we cross below. We will find out together. And finally, Sigma coin just kind of still grinding today. We have this continually tightening wedge that's been just forming for a year now, right? So here's your December of last year. So now we're looking at moving into October next month. So it's been 10 months of sideways down chop that has just kind of played out here. And you can see that we don't have much more room here. We, 1,000,085, anything to get us outside of this wedge and back test it is kind of what we're looking at here. So I anticipate just the continuation of more chop through here. So we would be looking at something along these lines where we would just kind of, get out into this region here, kind of come back in and back test, and then we can start sending for the move out of this region. And that's kind of how I'm expecting this price action to start playing here as we finish just kind of coasting and then getting all of a sudden this huge explosion. So just waiting for the market, right? And so this would correspond with the weakness of XRP, and then eventually an explosion as XRP takes off too. And we saw it right here. Here was July 17th for the Sigma chart. And you can see in July 17th, we had this huge euphoria candle step in as everybody was getting really excited. July 17th, July 18th. We bounced back over to the daily on the XRP chart, and that takes us right over here. Here's your July 18th high. So this euphoria spike came in, and that spike itself actually ended up pushing for an increase in the Sigma coin. So it doesn't take much euphoria to come into play. And here's why we are here for the memes. So if we just kind of go from the bottom of that range, let's go with the 22nd of June to the high of July's level there. That was a 215% return. And then if you're in your regular asset, and so we go back to June 22nd, which was right here. There we go, the low. And we run that low up to the high. XRP did a 92% return. So just in this world of memes, you have this 92% potential level that XRP put in. But at the same time, you have Sigma coming in with the 215. So the multiplier effect is definitely live and well within the memes, and that's what's definitely going to drag people into this ecosystem to get a multiplier beyond what they would normally get if they were just simply in XRP itself. So yes, that's basically what we're looking at, and we're just kind of now just waiting for everything to start moving. So we're just watching the price action here. And with our first layer of interest down here at this 282.7 level, and we'll see how we react with the liquidity right here at 282.7. So, but then again, mindful of this being our ultimate target, and then we'll watch as we react here. And if we do it with a nice, beautiful ABC, like we showed here on the chart, if we do something like this, and we get this really, really clean ABC to the downside, getting us down into the 75 region, that would be absolutely wonderful, giving us a huge advantage of being able to grab spot and run, because when XRP goes, it goes fast. And I think that corresponds with a lot of the market that we're seeing. So to recap, we've got XRP estimation of what we're expecting here with an invalidation below these lows on the USD pairing. But we're going to confirm that that invalidation happens on the Korean pairing here. And we're also going to confirm that that invalidation manifests here on the market cap chart. If we don't see them here, then I don't think the USD one, even though it may set a lower price, is actually the correct info. Then we jump over to our Ethereum chart, expecting one more rollover. taking us down possibly into this 370 range, 3,700. And then we also then confirmed that Bitcoin itself, even if it does and has completed on the futures market an ABC move to the downside right over here, this would in fact allow us to still complete one more ABC off of this 5 waves and close this gap to the downside down here at 109. So that'll be one more flush to freak everybody out, and then we'll see if we can continue lower or if that was enough. So that's what we're watching, and we'll check in tomorrow. Thanks so much for everything, and it's good to be back.